Alright guys, time to go back again today. Hope you're enjoying your day so far, and with the Challengers Cup number 3 fast approaching this coming weekend, we'd have hoped over the last several weeks that maybe we got some sort of announcement over about an anti-cheat and when we might expect it, and maybe that less hackers are, well, presenting themselves on the Challenger side especially. Does not seem to be the case. More cheating accusations coming out every single day, a lot of suspect clips we're going to look through today, and well, not something we want to see, given that a number of our big name players are going to be playing in this Challengers Cup upcoming this weekend, and well, of course, pro points and the results from this make a big difference, right? And if they're going to be playing against cheaters in these early rounds that don't get discovered until a little bit later, that of course is going to be a big impact on some of these players and how they could potentially get picked up to a pro team next season, or well, of course, do well on the Challenger side and get good seeding for future events. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on this stuff in the comment section. Like if you guys enjoy the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Firstly, this then, talking about Parasite, one of the players we're going to be talking about here at the upper echelons of the Challenger scene. But as Nox points out, I did some digging and think this all leads to Haggy being New York's fourth. So Mac did this really questionable tweet. No idea really what it means. He was replying to Karma and I don't know whether autocorrect messed him up or something. But yeah, Nox goes into this and well, breaks it down to show that Haggy is well, the HU, the GG and the Y means that Haggy's joining New York Subliners, baby. The time has come, and to be fair, he was actually scrimming with them a while ago as well, but I don't reckon this is going to happen. He has a team set in stone. But the cup number 3 is, as aBeZy says, going to be an absolute blast to watch. You've got Westar looking to retain their title, Paulex, Gravity, Venom and Zaptius. You've got a number of other dramas going here, right? So you've got Parasite, who didn't want a team with Sensor after Sensor got dropped from Zed's team. So many potential matchups could be very spicy here, right? If Haggy plays against really anyone, it's going to be a good time. If Sensor plays up against Parasite, that could be great. If Sensor plays up against Zed's team, it could be great. I mean, you've got Aches there or thereabouts as well. So, well, so many fantastic names and, well, players in the Challengers Cup, which hopefully are going to match up at some point and give us some great matches. But the problem is with these cups is that in the early rounds, it's kind of happened that, well, we get some questionable teams coming in and they're, well, doing very well against great teams. And are these guys actually legit? Are they not legit? And that's really an unfortunate question that we have to answer, right? The fact that some of these new guys that might come up, I mean, you guys might remember, you know, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, when E united the squad of it was Gunless, Arcitys, Prestinni and ELGATO at the time that, well, came up storming. They were dominating online play. Everyone was calling Gunless like, is this guy cheating? Is he an onliner? How is this guy so good online? And then he went to LAN and did the same thing, right? And the problem is that you can get teams like that now doing these types of things online and really making a come up, and they really gel together and they have incredible gun skill and they're making waves through the Challengers community. And all of a sudden nowadays the default is going to be, okay, these guys must be cheating because we've seen it with so many other players in this new PC environment, right? But hopefully this weekend's Challenger Cup is still very exciting to watch, but we do have to watch out for potentially in early rounds some hackers presenting themselves. As Waskin says, I can't play in Challengers this season. Every time I load up Twitter, we have a new hacker, right? And it's not so clear what Waskin wants to do this season, of course, not on a professional team. Is he just going to stream Warzone? Is he actually going to play on a Challengers team? The question is up in the air right now, but as he said, maybe he's not so keen, given that, well, the hacking situation is not so good to deal with, and many more accusations coming out these last couple of days. And of course, one of the other big names in the Challenger side is Sensor, and he's been, well, screwed over a couple of times so far with the referees not giving Zed his pro points when he was teaming with them. I think it was actually Dens who didn't get his pro points or something like that. Also getting screwed over by the game here, like somehow getting wallbanked all the way through the plane. I mean, that's a pretty remarkable death he had right there. But Doug's come top 32 in these first couple of Challenger Cups. I think the second time he lost to Westar or something, so a pretty difficult loss to have, given that it's a single elimination bracket all the way until top 8. And that's the problem with single elimination. If you play against some dodgy team that might be bringing out some hacks or something, and well, in an important round they put the wall hack on, there's nothing really you can do about it. That might be affecting some of these guys' positions and their results and this type of stuff going forward. So, well, hopefully that is not the case. But lately, Doug's kind of been throwing in scrims, as you can see, right here. I'll probably play a couple of clips at the end of the video. But also, there has been a lot of cheating accusations coming out these last several days. So this is one that came out on the 29th of December from Loony, exposing hackers featuring JBino, best 4v4 Miami S&D awareness globally. So, well, some of these clips are pretty remarkable. I'll leave everything linked, of course, for you guys down below. But yeah, one of these, he just runs out onto B and just sprints straight across B, and he makes the claim that he somehow heard that there was nobody there, which doesn't really make any sense. Like in a 4v4, as if you're just going to sprint straight across B, just assuming that they have like 4-man A hit this round, which of course they ended up doing, right? Which is a very questionable play. There's also this one a little bit later on where he basically pre-fires a guy coming over from this top A building, whatever people call it, which again is very questionable indeed. And well, Loony breaks it down in quite some detail. There is a point to be said that theater can look a little bit different than real life. So like on these guys' perspective in real life, like the theater mode always doesn't give the best representation of what actually happened. So in a situation where it looks like he pre-fired a guy coming around a corner, corner. Maybe on his screen the guy was already round the corner. You could argue that, and it's somewhat difficult to tell. But yeah, certainly some of this stuff is very questionable indeed, and I think most people in the community saying that, okay, this is probably too much to say it's just coincidence or whatever, and well, more came out as a result. I mean, this one as well doesn't get any worse than this right here. So over on Miami, once again, as he's coming up the stairs, like, what is this pre-aim right here? Sitting in the corner, decides to pre-aim down and just tracks this guy right through the wall as he comes around the corner and takes him out. Like, that is, well, is as blatant really as it gets, I think, right there. And well, of course, there are some explanations for individual clips that you can get away with. I mean, in Counter-Strike we've seen for a number of years, clips come out that look very dodgy indeed, but maybe can get explained away by certain things. So it's difficult to say without a barrage of evidence that anything is guaranteed and someone is 100% cheating. That's pretty much impossible to do. And even if that was the case, what are you going to do, right? I guess tournament organizers can ban them from tournaments and stuff. The CDL could take someone out and, you know, get rid of them fully, but it hasn't really been something that's happened quite yet. And with no anti-cheat in the game, it can be pretty impossible to tell. But thankfully, at least Theatre is in this title, so we can look at things from other people's perspective. As Dave says, no hacker is safe with Lewis Todd on the case, absolutely crushing the dreams of these hackers. And well, goes into some detail at 324. You claim you got the best working head state yet at 115. You say you didn't hear the guy sliding. So well, the story doesn't add up, mate. And there's many other things that have come out recently to a similar effect. Daniel pointed this out to me a couple of days ago here, confirmed Catology is cheating the thread of clips below. So well, some explanation right here, and there's about 8 clips they come out with, and individually you can look at these clips and probably say, okay, maybe that can be explained by whatever reason. But when there's like 8 clips in a row that look a little bit suspect, like right here, he hops on and preempts this guy through the wall. Why exactly has he done that? There's another one here where he's like looking at this guy flames like straight through the wall at the start of the kill cam, also a little bit questionable. And so well, there's a number of things right here. I think this peak is, well, not necessarily suspect, but it's somewhat suspect the way he peaks it. He doesn't really peak a real angle right there. He's not exactly peaking where someone you would imagine would be. That guy just happened to be crouching there, so that was also a little bit interesting. And there's more and more clips that come out all the time from this. This guy, of course, playing in a tournament and well, aiming at this wall where realistically you wouldn't imagine anyone would be pushing up that street. Instead, it looks like he might be aiming at this guy all the way through the wall, and a few other clips right there. Some in crazy sus 1v3, and yeah, with the sniper, like there's some of the preems were a little bit questionable. I think this last one was pretty entertaining as well. How he comes up here on raids with just the perfect centering and just straight up quick scopes this poor lad off a bomb, which is pretty outrageous. I mean, probably not something. Of course, that clip on its own, you could explain, okay, wow, he just went for this crazy shot and he managed to hit it. But with all the other clips, it's probably like, okay, something might be going on here. And well, just more and more where this has come from over the last several weeks. And it's very frustrating to look at when you look at some of the top tier professional guys, or at least former professional players, now working in the challenger scene. They're going to have to deal with this stuff for the entirety of the professional season. I don't really think anti-cheat and stuff is going to affect the pro circuit, but on the challenger side, it's already had a big impact. And well, as Tom Hedison says, Activision and its studios really need to start hiring some new community managers and communication folk that actually know how to communicate with the community. The core community is toxic and everything, and of course the Infinity Ward one, Ashton, I think it's Ashton Williams or something, Vulcan, and well, she has like her DMs closed or something, so you have to request to follow her, which is pretty remarkable. But of course this applies, I think he's probably talking about it more in the sense of, okay, the DMR in Warzone isn't in the best place right now. I think maybe it got nerfed yesterday or something. Don't really follow that too closely. But of course at the same time, this also applies, I think, to, well, the cheating situation, right? Like Activision don't seem to say anything, and if you don't say anything on the matter, how do we know sitting here from home that you actually care about these cheating issues going forward? So yeah, very frustrating, I think, to look at. And well, will anything ever get announced on the cheating front? Who really knows? Is this something we're just going to have to deal with and rely on, well, Lewis, Luty, Todd to expose all these guys for us on the timeline? Thought this was really funny to finish off the video, a bit of a trip down memory lane right here. TacticalRab Academy tweeted this out. I wasn't expecting this, but yeah, going through some of the favorite thumbnails from the year. If you guys haven't been following too long, I remember I made this back in Modern Warfare when there was some invisible character model glitch. I was pretty proud of this one at the time, but yeah, over time things have definitely taken a step up, I believe. This is when it was the Temp versus Doug thing on the subliners, and Doug's dad came into the mix. This is when I used to use this like bridge, and I think it's in Dubai or something in the background. I'm not really sure why I used to use that. This actually is a legendary one, like sliding and Cotton in her DMs when Haggy was DMing Zaptis' girlfriend or something mid-tournament, who was actually his teammate at the time. This Temp clip once again makes an appearance. So yeah, hopefully these have stepped up somewhat as of late. Thought this is pretty good as well. And well, as of late, this is obviously a pretty recent one. Haggy looking thick right here. So Haggy and Doug certainly making some good appearances as of late. And well, hopefully they don't get screwed over by, well, cheaters too much so in this challenger scene. This was pretty good actually from back in the day. Looks like I put some tears on Octane's eyes, which looks pretty entertaining. And well, Crimsix, of course, as of late, which has been a pretty legendary addition to the thumbnail collection, I believe. And yeah, just to finish off with Doug Sensor Martin absolutely frying some people once again on the challenger side. But yeah, will he have the same luck if he plays up against hackers? Hopefully that is indeed not the the case. So I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.